Hello and welcome to our national election debate. The subject of this debate this time is foreign policy. The subject is phrased like this, and this is the debate that's being put to the floor of the House. After 10 years of the UPA government, UPA 1 and 2, foreign policy in this country needs a complete overhaul. That's what we'll be debating on. And taking positions on that debate, we have four very esteemed panelists. Thank you very much. Let's have a round of applause for them. Thank you very much. And as I introduce them, I'd like to start with my extreme left. To our extreme left is Mr. Manish Tewari. You have seen him on television, one of the most vocal members and spokespersons of the Congress party. Manish Tewari is a member of Parliament of the Indian National Congress in the Lok Sabha and assumed charge as the Union Minister of State, independent charge of Information and Broadcasting in October 2012. He's one of the youngest ministers in this cabinet. He became national president of the NSUI, the students' wing of the Congress party, in 1989. He was subsequently president of the Indian Youth Congress in 1998. He served as a national spokesperson of the AICC starting 2008, elected to the Lok Sabha in 2009, and now Minister for Information and Broadcasting in the Union Cabinet. Manish Tewari. Round of applause for him, please. Thank you. It's good to see you, Manish. I look forward to a good debate. One thing I'd say about Manish, he's Minister for Information and Broadcasting, but his core competence, besides, of course, what he does, is also in foreign policy. To Manish Tewari's right, I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Mirza Mehboob Beig. Dr. Mirza Mehboob Beig is part of the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference and was elected to the Lok Sabha in 2009 from the Anantnag constituency and was member of various standing committees since 2009. He was member J&K Legislative Assembly for 2 terms and member of the J&K Legislative Council between March and May 2009. He was the National Conference Provincial President for the period 2003-2009 as part of our effort to include a variety of political parties across this great nation of ours in the national political debate. He represents the NC tonight. Thank you very much, Dr. Beig.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Dr. Mirza Mehboob Beig, one of the most experienced legislators this country has.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And to my right, since the focus of these national election debates is also to have people participating in the debate whose core competencies in the subject, Pavan Varma is a very interesting mix. He's a diplomat, author turned politician. He resigned as India's ambassador to Bhutan to join the Janata Dal United in October 2012. He's a 1976 batch IFS officer and presently serves as one of the senior advisors to the Bihar Chief Minister, very senior politician Nitish Kumar. In the past, he has held several key responsibilities, which includes being part of India's permanent mission to the United Nations in New York. He's been spokesperson for the Ministry of External Affairs and also been press secretaries to Presidents R. Venkatraman and Shankar Dayal Sharma. Pavan Varma, I cannot think of someone more appropriate than you to take part in our foreign policy debate today. Round of applause for him, please. And completing this very distinguished panel on foreign policy today is Hardeep Singh Puri. Hardeep Singh Puri served in the Indian Foreign Service for more than 38 years before joining the Bharatiya Janata Party in January this year. He's now one of the prominent voices of the BJP on foreign policy. He served as an undersecretary in the Ministry of External Affairs in the 1980s. He's held various ambassadorial level assignments in London and Brasilia and served as permanent representative of India to the United Nations in Geneva and in New York. He has led India's delegation to the Security Council in the years 2011 and 2012, now opting for a career in politics and representing the BJP point of view, Hardeep Singh Puri. Thank you for joining the debate. What a wonderful and distinguished panel we are in the company of today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say 2 things about the national election debate. The broad rules are simply this, and please pay full attention. The views expressed on this debate are the views of the political parties you represent. They are not your individual positions, since all the representatives on this debate have either been authorized or appointed by the parties to represent them. Secondly, each of the members on the panel is made aware of the other panelists so that they have prepared themselves accordingly for the positions to be taken. We have attempted at times now to have plurality and balance in points of view that are integral to the debate. Now, the subject of debate, after 10 years of UPA, India's foreign policy needs a total overhaul. Before we begin, let me very briefly tell you the ground rules. Each panelist gets to submit his stand. We'll start from the left and then carry on to the right. 2 to 2.5 minutes. After 2 minutes, there'll be the first buzzer which goes off. The buzzer will go off every 30 seconds after that. till the speaker does not stop. We'll have a first show of hands right at the start of the debate to give you an idea of how the audience thinks about it. Your challenge, gentlemen, is to win over this audience and get them to your side. After each speaker, 2 interjections or 3 interjections will be allowed, sharp questions to the speaker concerned. After the first round of initial positions and interjections, I will ask 4 questions, 1 each to each of the panelists, on which I want a pointed reply from them. My questions will be aimed at trying to help the audience decide whether they should vote for your political party in this election based upon your position on foreign policy. Then we are going for open debate, and finally we'll have the audience vote once again. I'd like to start today by introducing, perhaps on the back foot, a little bit on the defensive on this subject, Manish Tewari, representing the Congress Party. Manish, your time starts now.
Well, I think if you look at India's foreign policy over the past 10 years, there are 2 things which stand out. The first is that the objective of every foreign policy is the preservation, protection, and promotion of national interest. And the second objective is the consolidation of strategic autonomy. Now, national interest gets preserved by deepening the space for consolidation. We've had 10 years of economic and social consolidation in this country. And I will just give you 2 numbers which substantiate the extent to which the UPA's foreign policy has helped with this consolidation. If you look at the foreign direct investment numbers, from 1999 to 2004, the total inflow of foreign direct investment into India was $19.5 billion US. From 2004 to 2014, as we speak, that number has gone up to $175 billion. The second number I would like to give you are the export numbers. In 2003-2004, there were India exported worth 2.93 lakh crores. In 2013-2014, that figure has gone up to 16.34 lakh crores. The short point I'm trying to make is that because we have been able to engage the world effectively, we've been able to give space to our country to economically consolidate itself. The second thing that is required is that when you go in for a period of consolidation is to achieve a peaceful periphery. And over the past 10 years, the UPA government has not only succeeded in having a peaceful periphery, but also has consolidated the concept of strategic autonomy, which allows India to operate independently as we move from nation-centric frameworks to issue-centric frameworks. As the bell has gone off, I will recess my argument and hand over to the next speaker and come back to you later.
Well, I'm sure before you hand over to your next speaker, you will have some interjections. And I also like to say one thing. We already see 2 hands go up on this side. Gentlemen on the panel and to the audience, there are 2 ways a speaker can be interrupted, though I must say it is very politically incorrect for me to actually suggest to you ways to interrupt a speaker. The first, of course, at the end of what he says. The second, if you feel that the speaker is making a factually incorrect point, you can just say fact check. You raise your hand, you say fact check, and the speaker has to concede. The first interjection coming to you from Hardeep Puri of the BJP.
Manish, you have chosen to spend a lot of government money to put out half-truths. And one of those half-truths you reported in your statement today. You said our exports during the last 9 years have gone up from 2.93 lakh crores to 16.34 lakh crores. Manish, if you had done your homework, you would have known that whilst our exports went up by those figures, our imports went up even more, and that the trade deficit has gone from $17 billion in 2004 to $200 billion today, $192.5 billion.
Yes.
Now, if you want to chant that as a success, then I'm afraid you're on very weak grounds here. A, I don't think you should be spending government money taking out ads, and B, you should get your facts right.
Well, accused of fabrication at the very start, Manish Tewari.
May I come back on that?
Yes.
I'm very happy that Mr. Hardeep Puri has chosen to deflect from the issue of foreign policy into economic and commercial policy. First of all, Mr. Puri, we are not putting out half-truths. The figures on export are absolutely correct. And if India is exporting more and if India is importing more, this means that we are globalizing. And if we are globalizing, this means that our foreign policy, in terms of its ability to be able to engage the world both ways, has in fact gone up. So therefore, if you were trying to repudiate my argument, I'm afraid you've ended up substantiating it.
Well, I only find we have other interjections coming on from this side. I'm not going to allow a counter, but I'm very surprised, Manish Tewari, as an observation. People say UPA has been pusillanimous when it comes to China, confused when it comes to Sri Lanka, unsure when it comes to Maldives, ambiguous when it comes to Bangladesh, subservient when it comes to America.
Those are our points.
But I'm just surprised that those are your points. But aren't you surprised? I just make an observation. That Manish Tiwari...
He chooses to call it strategic autonomy.
He chooses to call all these issues as we go along. You put extremely provocative adjectives in front of every proposition. So we'll deal with the adjective and the proposition.
Okay, the second question to Manish Tewari. Who's it coming from? Pavan Varma concedes.
No.
Are you in league with the Congress party already?
Alliance.
Formed an alliance already with him.
We have to raise questions that we wish to raise and not necessarily respond to what.
Any questions? No questions at this point. Manish Tewari, I'm quite surprised. You're being let off.
No, on the substance of what he said. There are questions to be asked, but not on the substance of his opening statement.
Not on the substance of his opening statement. Our next speaker, representing the National Conference, Dr. Mirza Mehboob Beig, your 2 minutes starts now, and the subject is this: after 10 years of the UPA, which you have been a distinguished member of, India's foreign policy needs an overhaul. Dr. Beig.
Not exactly overhaul, Arnab. But yes, it is a continuous process and we have to learn. We have to learn and make amends where necessary. I don't think there is any problem in that. When I say that, I honestly feel, being a part of UPA, which we are and hopefully will continue to be, when it comes to dealing with China and when it comes to dealing with Pakistan, I think we had incursions in Jammu and Kashmir, that's Ladakh part of Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes.
And one of the objections China raised against us was, why are you building roads on your side? You stop doing that.
Yes.
Not only that. We have an issue with Pakistan, but Pakistan never ever dared to tell us that since you belong to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, you are a Kashmiri, so we will give you stapled visa to visit Pakistan. China did that. And when we deal with China, we see underreaction. We see as if we are ducking. And when it comes to Pakistan, my BJP friend will bear me out, because dealing with Pakistan has religious undertones, and it suits BJP, because they are in habit of what they call majority community appeasement, which is more dangerous than minority community appeasement. And there is hysteria is created all over. Hysteria. If it's Pakistan, we are up in arms. If it's on merit, there is no problem. Yes, we can be up in arms against Pakistan. But same thing we don't see, especially from BJP, because when we talk about Congress and BJP, these are two important all India parties. Yes, we have entered into coalition era. Yes, we have to consider the aspirations, the emotions of regional parties. But if regional parties dominate and even make us to change our foreign policies, I am afraid that's not good so far as the national interest is concerned.
Dr. Beig, thank you very much.